to give you some statistics which again put the real value of talent in the picture. Well, if we talk about human capital, our human capital per head is $6 million. So if you divide our market capitalisation by our head count, each individual has a value of about $6 million. So when we think of human capital, that's how I and we think of it. And therefore, it's a pretty big number, and therefore people with that market capitalisation per person have to be pretty efficient. Our main competitor is a well-known semiconductor company that puts things inside personal computers, and they are approximately 100 times our size. So we are now the main competitor, guessed it, of Intel, and we're having to, in a sense, out-innovate one of the world's best and biggest technology companies with only 2,000 people globally. So what I'm really talking about is a concentration of incredibly valuable and innovative and capable people who actually do very little individually. So the idea of the war for talent is almost irrelevant in isolation. What matters is how those people work together to create really low chips that give you a long battery life. That's really our selling point. Small, cheap, long battery life. So this is our business strategy. We don't have long strategy documents. It's not our cultural style. I won't bore you with all the top bit, which is basically how we make money. The bottom bit is how we run our organisation. And the bit that I've enlarged the text of is essentially how we see it at a business level and what our human HR strategy is. So what we're there to do is provide an engaging environment for our employees where they can fully develop their personal and collective potential better than elsewhere. It's only one sentence, but the better than elsewhere says that it is competitive. The best people in the world will go to the best places to work. So it's no good just having an engaged workforce or so on. You've got to be pretty good relative to the other places that your workers may want to work. It's definitely individual and collective potential equally balanced. And the idea of an engaging environment, I don't think has much to do, from a strategic perspective, to do with retention. People basically that are happy collaborate better. There's lots of evidence which says where people are playful, where they're having fun, and where they feel positive about their workplace, they actually work together for the greater good, better than lots of talented individuals who are fighting each other with their egos and their jealousies and their politics. So that's why we're so heavy on the collective. So that's that bit. The other bit, which basically says, you know, we're not a charity, we've got to produce returns. And again, there's a lot of words there which I won't bore you with, but the crucial ones are an excellent and sustained return for our shareholders and employees. If you go back 25 years, most corporations in the Western world certainly talk about shareholder value. And they said, what are we here for? We're here to create shareholder value. And the problem with that is, if you're a bright, talented individual, you don't go into work in the morning saying, I want to create a bit of shareholder value today. It just does not inspire, it doesn't engage, it doesn't really have any relevance to most people most days. But making all employees into shareholders does, because then you move away from being an employee to being both an employee and an owner. So we're very clear about that. When we get into organisational change, layoffs, shutting sites and so on, what we actually want is an organisation which sees it in the wider collective interest to increase shareholder value. And I'm not really going to get into that too much, but fundamentally, we want our employees to feel that any big changes we make to the company are ultimately going to affect them positively. It doesn't affect the people that are being laid off or closed down, but again, another idea is that really talented people want to be treated like adults, not kids, and therefore you've got to get them feeling the risk and the reward, and that only comes through high equity ownership. So that's just a little bit about the business strategy. In terms of the HR strategy, again, I'm not here to talk about HR strategy in total, but it's only one slide. You can read the sort of the words there. It's fundamentally about creating a community of people, and we use the community model a lot when we talk about building a company, which is essentially about sharing ideas and knowledge to create cool products. So again, it's not the individual, it's how they share things. And I'm going to come back to that. Specifically on talent, what we say is ensure we acquire and develop the requisite talent to deliver the vision economically. That's all we say at that level. what we really mean by that is requisite talent means people that can allow us to beat and compete with the world's very best technology companies. And we're repeatedly named as one of the world's most innovative companies, alongside Google and Facebook and a few others that you've probably heard of. So we're trying to do that, but we're only small. To do that, we really do need the best people from all over the world. To give you a flavour of that, in Cambridge, which is their headquarters, we have over 50 nationalities, and yet there's only about 800 people there. So it's not again, not a very big site. But to bring 50 nationalities, including Americans, and Indians, and Chinese, and so on, all together, represents the diversity that we're trying to have to allow innovation to happen, to have a melting pot for great ideas.